Welcome to the second monthly music masterpiece, Taylor's version, aka my project for 2025, aka where I am painting a different size canvas that slowly increases as the months continue, and also going through all of the 12 albums that we've gotten so far. No, I do not have a plan if she comes out with a 13th, but today may or may not be the last day of February, so I really need to get this out. It's the second month, so we're going to be doing the second album and the second sized canvas that I got, which is this little guy. Here is the first one for reference. It is slightly bigger, and it's the second one, so we need to do the second album, which is Fearless. And I do have quite a bit of footage of me drawing it and painting it and putting it all together, so I'm gonna let VoiceOver Jenna take it away.
Hey, it's VoiceOver Jenna, and if you guys follow me over on TikTok, then you might have already seen me sketch this, but if not, let's get into sketching. I honestly had so many different ideas for Fearless. I was back and forth on if I should do this idea or if I should paint a dress for the song Fearless off of the album Fearless. But I opted for this book because I thought it would be so cool to draw and paint a love story book, for love story. So I went to the Googles and I found a super simple book drawing. I just need something to sort of base it off of, and I definitely had to do it a few different times because I couldn't quite get the sizing right. I definitely don't want to copy anyone's original art, but this was labeled as like free clip art, free usage, etc. And I only really needed it for inspiration or as something to kind of vibe what I was trying to draw from my head. Because I don't know about you, but I have this thing called aphantasia. You can Google it, but basically I very much so struggle with picturing anything in my head. Like if I think of an apple, my mind is blank, like it's completely black. But with other people, or so it seems, because I haven't personally experienced this, but for other people, they can see maybe like the outline of an apple, or it's like partially shaded in, or for some people, it's perfect, like it's an exact apple that you would see in real life. But like in their head, like as they're picturing an apple in their head. Moving back towards this series, this topic, this video though, perfect timing too because we are just now getting started on the painting portion of today's video. Of course, I had to go with a yellow background for Fearless Taylor's version. I mean, I did the green for debut, so why not continue that theme and do yellow? And talk about an underrated color. I feel like a lot of people hate yellow unjustly. Like yellow is such a fun color, okay? And I will come clean and admit that I am not the biggest fan of how I painted the book here. It's definitely a little bit messy, and I wonder if this one will end up being my least favorite out of the bunch by the end of it, but who knows? I could always paint something worse. I also feel like if I tweaked my approach maybe a little bit, I could have had a better outcome. Like I knew I wanted to do a darker brown for the lines, but then I was struggling with what color the book itself should be because if it was too dark, then it would be hard to see the lines and it would be hard to put some sort of title on it, but I definitely don't love the color that I ended up with either. I don't know, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world, it's just not my personal favorite, that's all. And in my experience, it can be a little bit tricky to work with yellow because it just needs a ton of layers. You'll see me go over these edges, I feel like a gajillion times. But I should be getting started on this book any minute now. Let's talk about why I picked Love Story. The Love Story music video came out in 2008, which means I would have been 9. Whoa, that's gonna be in 10 years.
20!
And 3 years from now. That's wild. Okay. And I definitely remember watching it when I was probably 9 or 10. And I mean, come on, it's so cute. It's amazing. It gives all of the vibes. I wanted her dress. I wanted that hairstyle. I wanted to be the Juliet and find my Romeo. I mean, of course, I was like 10. And this song has just continued to be one of the biggest bops of my life throughout basically, I guess, my whole life now at this point. And I will never forget seeing her perform this live at the Eras Tour, her as in Taylor Swift. And it's just everything. I don't know. It's definitely a song. I know it's like maybe a basic pick. There are for sure songs that I enjoy more than Love Story, but I don't think it's necessarily about that for these picks. Like the picks for the series. I want to do a wide variety. Like the first one, I did the first song that I had ever heard by Taylor Swift, and there will definitely be a video eventually where I pick like a deep cut or something that's not as known as Love Story. But for Fearless, Taylor's version, I thought this would be a good pick. And speaking of Fearless, Taylor's version, I would love to know your favorite song off of that album. I know for me, Fearless definitely changed my life, but I'm also a That's When girly. The Other Side of the Door, Forever and Always, Change. Oh my gosh, there's literally so many. I could go on and on. And I think as I continue to do these videos, I'm just going to continue to get more and more excited because I don't know, I love all the albums. And they are all special in their own unique individual way, at least in my opinion. If you have any ideas for Speak Now Taylor's version, I would love to know in the comments. Our canvas is going to get slightly bigger, but I don't exactly know what exactly I'm gonna do yet. There is quite a lot to happen, and now that I'm thinking about it, I can't do the story of us because I literally just did a storybook for Love Story. It's okay. There's other ones. There's Haunted. I could do like a haunted house. I could do a castle for Castles Crumbling. I could do a dragon for Long Live. I could do a chessboard for Dear John. I probably won't do that one. I don't know though, maybe you could think of a better idea. If you have one, I would love to know in the comments. And now you've been seeing me stumble while trying to paint this book for a few minutes now. I started with that darker brown color, I'm pretty sure, and I did some outlines, and then I did a base color of the book color. And now I'm trying to fill in some spots that I missed and do other lines and things like that. I only used a total of 4 different colors. We have the yellow, the brown that is the lines, we have the slightly lighter brown which is the book, and then the even more lighter brown which basically looks white for the pages. And I guess I technically do use white at the end, but I'm unsure if that entirely counts. But here is my first try at writing Love Story, and boy was this probably the most difficult part of the entire process. How are you supposed to write something so pretty in such a small little space? Because I guess another important thing to add is this is only the second time that I am working with a small canvas. The first time was literally for this first video in this series. Typically, I paint on, I think, an 8x8 canvas or an 8x10 canvas, something in that range, I think. Which is definitely why I messed up on writing story the first time, right? It's okay though, thankfully we can just paint over it and wait for it to dry. And honestly, I had to split this video into a few different videos just for the drying element of it all. I can't imagine how long this video would be if I didn't pause it at any point, because these aren't time lapses. These are just straight out videos that I am speeding up. And that's mostly because then I can kind of control how long I have to do these voiceovers for, because to be honest, talking for 10 minutes straight is pretty difficult. It's really hard to think of a bunch of different things to talk about and to make the whole conversation flow and to remember everything that you're trying to talk about, and it's always something that I stress out when I make these time-lapse videos, but I'm hoping I'm doing okay. Let me know if I'm crashing and failing in the comments though. I think we are starting to near the end, or I guess the finale section of this video. Not that there's anything large to conclude, but you know, things like final touch-ups. I went around the edges again because you know, you can never go around the edges too many times. I am definitely someone who typically forgets to paint the edges, so I'm very much so trying to be very mindful while doing this series to paint the edges. And here is the final touch before I send it back to In Real Life Jenna. Thank you guys so much for listening to this voiceover, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, maybe consider giving it a like. And if you want to see more of this space, more of my kind of content, more of this series, maybe consider hitting subscribe. And as always, if you have any other questions, thoughts, opinions, or anything else, let me know in the comments. I hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!